Dot, 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 dot. Okay. He said yes. Hello? Hello? Testing, testing.
How's it sound?
Good.
And this one?
Ooh, that one's loud.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it better or worse?
It's still pretty loud.
Okay.
Good. Alright, they're fine. Yeah, we're
Go Rays!
We're live with the people of the world.
Oh my gosh, for a live.
Hopefully we have listeners.
What?
I don't really know. That's the fun. That's why we're in here. Because in
It's
there
a
you can
mystery.
see everything. It's weird.
Oh. Oh, I like that.
I'm being illegal.
Shh. Don't ask, don't tell. I spilled everywhere.
We're all being illegal.
Abby, you can leave now.
Okay.
Yep. You can leave.
Goodbye.
We don't associate with people of that nature.
Oh, I'm just a terrible, terrible person.
I'm talking about that you're a woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
yikes. Misogynist over here.
I'm kidding. You can make the chairs go really high.
Welcome to our
Ooh, I
show.
like it. Thank you.
This is Now You Know Me.
Oh, yeah, now you know me. That'd
Yes,
be the cutest
that's-
start. Although I want to
that's-
start when you start hearing her voice. I like that.
Though we are, that's
Anytime
when we're going to
stupid.
start.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pull up the chair like you did.
Well, you have
You
to get
stand
off
off.
of it.
Oh.
And there's a lever.
Abby.
Right there.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh. Oh.
So this is our
my
5th
gosh.
episode of 9. Do you have a pen?
Yes, I do.
Can I
Actually, that
can
I
I
found
borrow
on the
it?
floor.
That was there.
Why did you tush it?
Because that we was on last time.
Nope. It's fine.
It was a beautiful
that
noise.
No, don't be. Ooh. Ooh.
It was beautiful.
Sorry about that. That was
That
terrible.
was the scariest thing I've ever done.
I have a crew pencil that I found on the floor.
I have a feeling that these speakers were turned on via that. Just, yeah.
There you go.
Whew,
I think it just means that we won't be able to listen to it in the studio, which isn't that big of a
We're
deal.
living it.
NBD.
What? What's what? You can turn that off too. Katie's delightful.
So, Jeffrey, do people call you Heffrey?
See, sometimes
Really?
Zach Solis calls me Hefe Ray
Hefe Ray.
because it means boss king. Because Hefe is boss and
Boss.
Ray is king
Oh,
in Spanish. So
Spanish.
Hefe Ray is boss king.
I like that. I like
Isn't that
that.
weird?
Hefe Ray. You have to say it kind of in that accent. Hefe Ray.
Yes.
That's great. Well, I've always had, this thought that I was going to call you Heffrey, but I guess...
Never really. I know because you're the heifer person.
Right? Heffrey.
It would make sense.
It's just...
And yet,
It's all coming... and yet I've never done it. What is this?
that's okay. So you have a show.
Apparently I do, and I didn't know.
You don't know.
Well, I emailed a person about
Uh-huh.
it, and I filled out the application,
Mm-hmm.
and I did all the cool stuff, that you need to get a radio show, and I didn't get an email back after that. I didn't get more into the mic.
Yeah, you'd be really close.
Okay, and I didn't get an email back after that, so...
More and louder.
Oh, okay, I'll
I don't
project.
think you should worry about that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that seems to just be there. Because in there, we were perfectly loud.
Yeah, but I was talking this loud into each of them.
But when she talked for...
It was good?
Yeah, it was
Never mind.
Okay, Shifta.
Just listen. No. Nope. No, you might get fired. I'm not. Don't. No. You just asked to. No touching buttons. Especially when they do something negative. Okay.
It's not math. Okay, sorry.
Did we intro our show yet?
Kind of.
Alright, this show's based off of Pete Holmes.
It's called You Made It
We
Weird.
made it weird. Yeah. The podcast. A lot of what we take is from him. You should
Oh, cool. Okay.
listen to him. And
I've
him
told
out.
you to listen to him before.
Oh, yes, you have. Yes, you have. I'm sorry.
Countless occasions.
I have not. I'll be honest. I have not had time to listen to Pete
the only
Holmes.
person that we've told was Dave, and he actually listened. Everybody else hasn't listened.
Yikes. Okay. Well, I will. Go Dave. Shout out to Dave if he's listening. Would
He
you
might
know?
be. He's one of our. I just wrote down my birthday. 0331. It's not the 31st. It is the 18th.
Wait, your birthday's the 31st of March?
March.
My sister's is the 30th.
Oh. I thought you said yours was the 31st.
Oh. I mean, that would have been really cool, but no.
Number 5. 5 down. All right, cool.
I like
So
that.
that's that. Abby's from the problem drinker state of Wyoming.
That is posh. That is not true.
I think it's true. I've never been there, but I like to
That was
believe.
from like a random website.
It was credible.
Not true.
Probably had an author.
Right.
That's usually more than most sites give.
Actually, look, when you're citing things, you're like, there's no author, there's no nothing. I can't use this source.
And they're
It's
like,
like a
"Oop."
cool source. Yeah.
Well, who published it?
That's
You're
true.
like, the website probably. I don't know. Google.
There was a person that wrote down this information.
Somebody did it. It wasn't a robot. Well, might have been.
Who knows? I mean, there's programs now that do that, so. I mean, now there's Facebook ads that pop up, and they read my thoughts pretty much, so it's like, what?
I know. I don't like how when if you're searching things, then the side ones mirror it. I looked up something random once, and it wasn't like pornography or anything like that. Cause
Oh, I
that's
think it was.
in the incognito viewer. Oh.
I know, there's all these, like, hot men ads that pop up on mine, and I'm like, I've never popped up, or I've never, like, clicked on any hot men before, so I don't know why that
Maybe it's
happens.
reading your mind.
Maybe it's because I'm female. You never know.
How does it know you're female?
Because you say, I am.
Oh,
I am
like
female.
female.
On
And yeah,
Facebook.
Google's like, we'll remember that for later date.
Exactly.
Cool. That's exciting.
So on this show, sorry, just question for you guys, if I
We
could
have-
say that. Could I
you
ask
can
a
do whatever
question?
you want.
Question.
This is your 2 hours.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
I like this. That's really cool. It's just the time to talk.
Right.
It's like therapy.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we got the idea of the show from.
No,
Ask your
honestly,
question, and
it's
we'll come
like
back
therapy.
to that. I'm
Okay.
gonna write that down.
Shoot, what was I gonna say? I just got so worked up on this whole idea of therapy. Now I forgot what I was going to say. Something about.
You ever been to a therapist before?
Yes, I have.
I haven't. I've been meaning to.
I mean, just, like a couple times. But my mom is a licensed professional counselor, so I pretty much just talk to her
so
all the
you
time.
grew up.
She listens to my
therapist.
problems.
Okay. Well, I was
Because I
just wanting to
have
go to
been.
one just because I think it'd be cool.
Honestly, it's so great. I think there's such a taboo, or it's a taboo topic, among our society, because if you think about it, therapy isn't bad. It's never bad. It's never bad to talk about your feelings. It's good. It's incredible.
I think people
for
just
you.
associate it with mental illnesses, and they don't
Yeah.
want to be thrown into a group of that.
Weakness.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Nobody wants
'cause
to know that somebody else is seeing a therapist.
a lot of
or-
mental illnesses are like biological
Yeah, that's very true.
or mental, but in which case you're going to a therapist to fix it.
Which is still biological. If it's in your genes, I mean, you can't do anything about it.
I think it stains in my genes. I said that one
Funny-
quieter. 'cause I
funny-
didn't
punny
think
joke.
It was that funny.
I laughed.
So therapy. Oh, last year. You want to tell the Katie-ish story? How we were on the plane and
Oh, yeah. So on the plane back from Orlando last year,
Oh yeah.
we got randomly put just based on our last names. Olsen, and Nelson were sat in the same row. So it was
Oh.
me, Andy, and Katie.
That's great.
And then we were like, we don't know her that well. And we felt like there had to be more. Like we just,
Oh, good.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
we're like, what's underneath all of that? Just because she doesn't really present herself in a big, loud way
Yeah,
like
yeah,
some
she's
people
shy.
do. Yeah. So
I mean,
we just started talking to her, and we both overshared. We talked about things in our life. We each told our 1 hour story. And then,
Oh, that's great.
and then we started asking her questions, and it was
And she
weird.
opened up because we just overshared. So when we came back, we're like, oh, we can do this with this, this, and this. We can talk to all these people. Like next year with our room, we were gonna invite people with note cards and stuff like that. And
It didn't end
hasn't
up happening.
happened yet.
But now
Yeah.
this is
But
kind
now
of.
we have
This is
this.
working.
Like this.
This is
does it.
fabulous.
The only downside is it's in like a public stage, so some people are gonna not talk about everything.
Right.
But then you have people like Haley Booer who will tell anybody anything pretty much,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool.
That's
We
great.
had her, she was our guest last week, so
Oh, that's great.
got little shoes to fill because I think she has small feet. I don't really know.
I don't know.
I'm in a weird mood.
Your moods are the best.
I like them; they're fun.
Yeah.
Caffeine's not gonna help it either.
Oh, just makes it even better.
Mm.
Even better.
Better. Do you remember your question yet?
No, that was a long time ago. I completely forgot. I'm really sorry. It was a question about the show. Oh, do you guys play any music at all?
We have a
At the
music
1 hour break.
It's right there.
Oh,
Can't look.
oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to point there.
I was gonna take a little peeky.
This is the general outline of the show.
Well,
Yep. It's very open to be gone away from.
We just like to touch on all these things because they're it's really the meat and potatoes of Pete's show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He talks about comedy,
Comedy, sex, and God.
sex, and God, and we're more like Gustavus college sex. And
College relationships.
College
Oh, good, good.
relationships.
You don't have to get in real deep if you don't want to. But it's
Okay.
preferred.
I was trying. So we this week we're gonna do somewhere we talk about the first memories we have with somebody. And
great.
I like to do this with certain people. Like my first memory of Jeff's hilarious. I saw him. Heard he was from Maple Grove, and we his family is Maple Grove, and they were just like our not rival team, just a team we hated because they were so good. So I'm like, oh, Brett told me, he's like, oh, my roommate's from Maple Grove. I'm like, oh.
Maple
And then-
Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I met him, and his shirt was off, and you've seen him without a shirt on.
And I
He
had a
just kind of in
tattoo.
shape.
Oh, and
Tattoo.
those sunglasses. I remember you wearing those kind of like sunglasses.
Oh, yeah.
You can see, and that's my first memory of him. And now we live together. It's just really funny.
That's
Within the
great.
first day of knowing him, it was kind of like, oh, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's not everything he portrays. If you were just to look at me, I understand. It's
Yeah.
Well, you want to know something? Susie, one of my best friends. Well, actually, she is my best friend, and my sister Della
came
is
out here.
Yeah,
Your sister?
yeah. Susie and Della, they came out here last year, and my friend Susie, we met in 7th grade. The first thing that she thought of me was that girl's too tan to be my friend. She's too tan. That was it.
wow.
I was trying to think of my first memory
right?
or when I met you, and I couldn't really pinpoint it. But then I was just remembering that I don't really know who you were. I kept mixing you and Sophia up in my head, just because you have similar skin tone, I guess. I don't know.
I
Not
know
really
it's my
even
skin
close to
tone,
similar
right?
body build, right? But then when we started swimming, I was like, this girl is nuts. I remember being afraid of you because you were so fast.
Wait,
It's like,
seriously?
I made group 1 and I didn't think I was gonna make group 1, and so I was swimming group 1 and I just was like always constantly like just being last, and then I had to swim against you in one lane. I was
Yeah.
like getting crushed by you. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Seriously?
she's so
Oh my
fast,
gosh,
I'm so
that's-
slow.
Whatever. That is
Exactly what I thought though.
that's so not. Wow.
Yeah. I think that's probably my first memory of you because I don't really have anything
Yeah.
else. Did you have?
I did. So the first week of captain's practices, I couldn't swim because I got my tattoo recently, and they
Oh,
tell you to
yeah.
wait for 2 weeks. And you did you have a dance class?
Yes, I did.
And so you weren't swimming. You just come to socialize.
Yeah.
And since I couldn't get in the water, you were sitting on the bench, and so
I remember that. Yeah.
sat next to you, and then we started talking, and you were the first person that I talked to that I didn't already know. Like, I talked to Nikki Hansen before, so I talked to her. And then we just started talking, and I don't remember how it got to it, but then we started talking about your movie that you were writing about the skateboarding person in South
Yes!
America.
Yes!
I remember that, and that was really cool. And then
Still have yet to finish that, but it's a work in progress.
And then you told me about the concert that you were going to alone because no one wanted to go with you. And I was like, well, if I was more forward, I'd be like, I'll go. And then I was like, I don't want to. It was scary. But
I mean,
you were a
you-
scared little freshman.
I was terrified.
Yeah, I was a
You're
big old
intimidating.
junior. Was I intimidating?
Everyone
A
was
little bit.
intimidating.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
suppose that's a bad point. Everyone was. I was intimidated by almost everyone. Not Zach Gardner, just because he's not the most intimidating person in the world. Because I remember when I met him,
Yeah.
he like, it's like, I'm bad with names, so I met him 3 times, and then he finally was like,
He finally-
you're Hannah's brother, okay.
Finally got it after
Yeah,
the third
took him
time. So
Mhm.
That's-
good for him.
that's next.
It's usually like around 6. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was Emma's brother a little bit, but it didn't last very
I
long.
made a point to be, Hannah's my sister.
Hmm.
yeah, how is that? Like being a sibling in college, like having your sibling in college with you.
It's fine. I don't see her that often.
Yeah.
We talk more just on the way home from stuff. So, like, 'cause we just share a car. So that's got some friction recently, just with the car, because of various things and miscommunications. And she actually still hasn't texted me back from that.
Really?
Really.
That's disappointing.
I was texting her, and Jeff parked the car in College View, and it was in the very back, so she didn't see it. She went twice, and I was in class the whole time. She's calling me, and then I came out of class and like told her where the car was. I'm like, pretty sure it's there. And then she's like, all right, well, I'll go check again. And then I'm like, all right, well, it's here. I called Jeff and like, it's in this spot, and never texted me back. So now my mom texts me like, where's the car? And like, gets really upset with me. And then so I have to miss my last class of the day, go walk over there. The spot's empty.
Oh,
and then
no.
I call her like 20 times, no answer. I'm like, we need to talk. Like, no answer. So she just ended up going home.
Oh no.
It was a really upsetting way to have like start my Friday night.
Oh yeah.
It's whatever. That's life.
I
Yep.
know.
So
right?
it's
Life
frustrating
goes
because
on.
we're just siblings still, but like I don't see her that often, especially now that she's not on the swim team anymore.
Yeah, different group of people. That's for sure.
But it's fun. I saw her at the parties, some parties on Saturday. That was kind of cool.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some birdies.
Definitely. Do you have first memories of us?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Actually, trying to think. Andy. I have to go back and really think because
Yeah, it was hard. We
Yeah.
didn't make any impression on each other till probably the that night I came over to your apartment.
yeah.
I thought that would be the first memory, but like that was the first time we really interacted.
Yeah, like the interaction was definitely I just remember okay, actually I remember not Puerto Rico. I always want to say Puerto Rico. It's always Puerto Rico for the training trip. It's never anywhere else. Florida. It was Florida. And we hung out a lot. You were dating Lindy.
Oh,
But I remember-
yeah. Okay, that was
I
because when did we come over to her apartment?
Later. It was
It
over
was
J
later
okay.
in
term.
the spring.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then we had the beach crew, blood crew. Yeah.
Yeah,
Naked till the
Okay.
end.
Yep, that's
Beach
it.
crew, blood crew.
It's hard to say.
Naked till the end.
Did you guys end
That's
up
it.
going to get anything?
Shh, keep it a secret.
No, I didn't.
Oh, because we did. Yeah, we went in
It's creepy.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico we did.
Puerto Rico's better.
You can hear now?
Anyway, so
Good.
I remember thinking when we were, I don't know, we were like out to dinner at like a,
Was it Carrabba's? We went there twice.
I think it was Carrabba's, but I didn't go the first time with you guys. I know.
Wow.
It was
Oh,
my
you
fault.
didn't. Did you go to that fish place with that? That
Yeah.
really good, whatever it was?
Yeah. And then I remember, it was the second night that I went with you guys. And I was like, oh man, this guy's really, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like really good with his words. Like you were finishing my sentences and you were making sense with I was trying
Me?
to. Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that's really great. Like, oh, that's a good word to use for, I don't know, the way that you were really well spoken. I remember
Cool.
that. Isn't that weird?
That's exciting.
That's like one thing that I remember. Yeah.
Never been called well spoken.
Yeah, you just have like funny things to say.
Day made. That's exciting.
It's true though.
Cool.
I remember the first thing. And then Jeff, I remember talking about your tattoo, but I think the first time was in the calf. And we were actually discussing the same thing about my film.
Was it when you got it in the mail?
Yeah, and I literally told you the whole
Yes.
narrative,
Yep.
like the entire plot.
Yes.
That's when I remember I was like, oh, I should tell this guy because maybe he'd be into Trevor Hall. Because that's when I was really getting
Right.
into the music.
Yes.
But I remember specifically in the calf. I think there was like
I remember that
because
because you got it in the mail and then you brought it and I was like, "What's that?" And then you told me that
Yes.
you said this is my screenplay and I was like,
Oh yeah, because it was a notebook.
"Yeah, it
Yes.
was like all written down and I was like, Did you write? I mean, I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so the movie you're now...
No.
No,
Oh.
different,
This is a different one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is a little bit. The one I'm doing now is a little bit different. Well, when
It's
I say a little bit, a lot of it different.
It's completely different.
It's a different movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you end up making that one with your screenplay?
No, the screenplay that I talked to about with Jeff was is still in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's super. It requires to go somewhere else, and then it also requires to go.
It does. Right, you can't just...
to have a lot of money, you know, and
Yeah, that was
is
your own
something that I do
fault.
not possess. Yeah,
You set it up. You're like, you could
I
write
know.
any part.
I
You're
could
like,
write anything I wanted, and I decided
I-
to write something more expensive. Why did I do that? I don't know.
You could have done Wyoming, where I live, in my backyard.
You live there, Jeff? No. Funny. No, yeah, I live in Wyoming. I could have done it in my backyard, for crying out loud.
But it wouldn't have fit.
No, it wasn't really, because like I was really into, okay, this is going to kind of sound embarrassing, but I was really into longboarding that summer.
Mm.
And I just got done with this camp, that I went to. It was a really laid back it was a Christian Lutheran camp. But I just remember coming back from that really like liberated and like, oh, peace, love. You know, I was totally into all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to get this longboard with my extra money that I got from camp. That literally my money that I made at camp, which was like $200 for like every 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that.
Wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad. I pretty much spent it in like the first week back home, so it's fine. But classic mistake. But I just remember I was really into like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make this really cool longboarding movie and about, you know, just like roughing it in Peru, and because I saw this really cool documentary of these guys who longboarded. It was literally the coolest thing. I don't remember their names, but they longboarded all the way through Peru and Chile and a few other places, and they go on these super like dirt roads, but then there's also I don't know, it was fabulous. And they stayed the night in just these like crazy hostels, and then other nights they just have these like tents that covered their bodies. It was really funny. It was great, and they made it through this entire thing. It was kind of like a marathon, but for longboarding, and I was really interested by it and intrigued, and so I kind of wanted to make something like that. Yeah. It was called Long Treks on Skate Decks.
That's what you named it?
Yeah. No, that's what Yeah, you should check it out. It's actually really cool. It's really fun. It's these like guys that are really good at longboarding, and they just go to these places and try and speak the language, get really immersed in the culture through longboarding, which I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was really into that. I'm like, I'm going to make a movie about this. But not really about this, but...
Yes. It's much more complicated.
Yeah, so anyway, long story short, Jeff, I just remember talking in great detail about my screenplay, and then I'm like, oh, it'd be super fun if I can get, you know, my friends to go to this Trevor Hall concert, because I was obsessed with Trevor Hall too.
Yes.
Still am. As is Haley Boer.
Is she?
Yeah, so it's all connecting, right?
Yes, it is.
Two people have similar interests.
It's a crazy world we live
Wow.
Who would have thunk?
I'm going to stay inside tonight.
in. We take a step back.
Really appreciate it. Everything's
Soak it in.
connected with little strings.
Yeah. We have two pictures. It'll be Abby Lyle and Haley Boer, and then
I
the
was making
dot.
like a string theory joke.
I'm saying we make a chord.
You actually want to connect little things with
Literally.
strings. It's like
And then just
Sherlock
like
Holmes.
Trevor Hall.
yeah, like Sherlock Holmes. You like it all. It's right here. You're like, well, it's right here.
Yeah, there's just one string.
One
It says
string.
One string.
Trevor Hall on it, and that's all we know so far.
It's really funny. I'm really warm now because of the coffee.
That's what I love about it. Just makes you all warm inside.
Warm beverages make me just sweat.
Yep.
It's a good thing.
I don't like being warm.
You don't.
I guess I like being warm, but only
You'd rather
if I
be cold?
choose to be warm.
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather be cold. I would much rather just be cold. Like in Florida or Puerto Rico, yuck.
No.
It's not my thing. I
But the cold
sweat.
still bothers us. We found out the other day.
That was different because we were asleep.
We had our window open like Saturday through Monday.
Okay.
So Monday morning rolls around and it's just cold.
It was like 20 degrees. It was like maybe it was
And our
about
heater
15.
was on 0, but it's it was on the snowflake that night. So then it, like that so heats a little bit, but we turned that off. So it was just pure cold air coming in, and it was just.
And
frigid.
so we both woke
I
up.
skipped my
Frigid.
first class.
Oh,
We
wow.
woke-
I was like, no,
Yeah,
not kidding.
we woke up.
Did
We're
the
like
tip of your nose
too
get
cold.
really cold? Because that's what happens when it's
No,
really
'cause
cold.
I like put on my blanket.
Oh, that's smart. of
Which
you.
which
See, I
isn't
wasn't that smart.
because then when we went time to wake up, we're like never mind. It was
Abort.
yeah we
Abort
did
mission.
we were both up and I was like, are we
We
getting
got
up?
at 7. It was like 7:10, 7:20, and then I
Abort.
just literally like turned it off and.
We talked about it though. You said I'm not going to my 8 a.m. I was like, all right, and so I went back to sleep too.
Disgusted like.
Yeah, that was it. I think.
You want to know something actually really hilarious? One time, it was in high school, my senior year. It was in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so little backstory. We went to Chicago for Christmas.
Cool.
Okay, to visit all of our family in Chicago. And it was my family and I, and we were on the road, right? And we're looking for a hotel. And we couldn't find one. And then all of a sudden we saw this like weird sign to a hotel that said Redwood Motel, and I don't think you've probably ever heard of it.
I have not.
But it's where one of what was it called? It was a movie with gosh dang, I'm gonna forget his name. It was like a movie with Indians and oh gosh, okay, well yeah, that really narrows it down, right? Anyway, there's a movie that was filmed in this hotel. So we're like, okay, cool. We're gonna go to this place, right? And it's in I think South Dakota somewhere. Yes. It was
Grace
called
got it
Redwood
correct.
Motel. It's like a Buffalo Bill, Jesse James. It was filmed. There's a movie that was filmed there. So we're like, oh cool, we'll stay there. It'll be legit. We get there. There was no heating in this place. It's so janky. And we get in the hotel and it's, my mom, my dog, my dad. I don't know why I said my mom, my dog, my dad.
The hierarchy of the family. Mom, dog,
And my sister.
food,
I guess I love
clothes,
that. Oh,
also
sister,
dad.
Sister was like afterthought. And
But
Come
my
along,
sister, I love
after
my
thought.
sister. Anyway, so we get there and it was so cold, and I go to the bathroom, and I put my butt down on the toilet seat, and I immediately get up off the seat, and I turn around and I see there's like this little film of ice on the top of the toilet seat. It was
freezing.
terrible. Oh my gosh. My sister and I, there's like really funny pictures of us on Facebook of us just like cuddled up in the sheets, and there were literally only sheets it was terrible. It was a nightmare, but we cuddled and we made it through. But that was a great night, and it was a very memorable night. So
Wow.
yeah, it sucked going through it probably a lot, but you made the most of it. Now it's a great memory.
Yep, exactly. So that's just a funny story. Backstory about me going to Chicago.
Boy,
She kept looking at the sheet.
stop
I
looking at the
know,
sheet.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're so worried about it.
For listeners don't know, we print off a sheet. It's so we don't get off track.
Almost, this is the last thing we do before we come here. That's why we're usually late.
Yes.
I always forget about it. I don't know why I don't just print off a bunch of them. Because it's a very generic sheet where I fill in what changes each week. Well, I don't know. Oh, this week I added that.
Oh,
there
good
you are.
call.
You're being productive. You're fine.
Don't look at the sheet.
Stop it.
See, I know the
Hiding.
entire sheet now.
You don't know anything.
Oh, okay.
You know
What's the next
nothing.
segment?
Oh, I have no idea. I was just joking.
How did you get to Gustavus? Segue.
Really? Okay. How did I get
Or what
here?
brought you here? As you're from Wyoming, you didn't just like, hey, Gustavus. Unless you did, which would be
Yeah.
odd.
Yeah. It is kind of. I get this question a lot too.
I'm sure.
But I like saying it because it was kind of weird how I came here. I was discussing it with my mom. Well, first of all, my mom was a huge deciding factor because she had a friend who went here, and she talked to me about it, first of all. But before that, I really wanted a place that had swimming, but I didn't want swimming to, like, be my life. You know
Sure.
what I mean? of course, it's a big part of my life, but I didn't want it to completely envelop every part of my life and make me miserable, because that's honestly what it would have done. If I went to a D1 school, I would have been miserable. And you guys look really tall, and it's intimidating now.
You should move your chair up because it's super fun.
Okay. But anyway, okay, I found the lever. Oh, jeez, I just suck.
Wrong way, Wally.
Oh, yes, I like this.
Part of the show where we readjust our chairs.
Lovey.
Now you're just really tall.
Wow, that was lovey. Did you hear that, everyone? Mama lovey, not Mama likey.
There's a difference between Mama likey and Mama lovey.
I've never heard that.
When Mama lovey, I mean business.
What's Mama likey then?
Oh, I like being tall. Mama loves being tall. Yeah. In chairs and...
Do you like
in
being
real
tall?
life.
Are you a fan of your tallness?
Yes.
How do you feel about short guys?
I like them. I like short guys, and I like...
Perfect, we're in.
I like being tall.
I'm in.
I think the thing is that, I don't think that short guys like me. So then I just like...
That's not true. But carry on.
But
How'd you know?
How,
You're not short.
I'm not saying me.
but just like, in general, like guys, I just don't think that are short. They're like, oh, she's too tall for me, or blah, blah, blah. Because I've had many conversations with some guys that are like, oh, I want a girl that's, about this high. And it's always, for those of you out there listening, which is probably nobody, below their eye length is what they think.
Dare you think no one's listening?
Door's over there. Let it hit you on the way out.
I'm sorry.
How many are on? 0.
There's 2.
They're not even one. I don't think the one is anybody. The one is just like, you're on there.
I love this.
Whatever.
It's great.
Yeah, it is.
Well-
Our main viewer base is the Justice League, and they must be busy tonight.
It's very
That's fine. I'll put it on YouTube later, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
People will be able to hear this
Convo will be...
forever.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's
Until
what
YouTube dies in a hole.
You never know. That might be sooner than we think.
So Gustavus.
But anyway, Gustavus, yeah,
Yes.
I like being tall, to answer your question, yes.
Good.
And because you could see over other people,
I don't.
Okay. But I don't know. It's definitely, there's good and bad parts to it, but I definitely like it more than other times. Just because I was born that way. I was born this way.
Maybe she could sing for her song.
That's true.
That'd be cool. It'd be a first.
Might be an only.
Could be an only. Cool.
Anyway,
I am the one and only.
so
I also came to Gustavus. Well, what I wanted into college was, I wanted to swim, but I also wanted to be in theater, and that's why I came, because I loved theater in high school, and I wanted it to be a part of my life. And so I remember coming here. Well, I also wanted a good education overall.
Sure.
And I found out about it from my mom's friend, right? So I was like, okay, well, maybe let's just make this trip out of it. So I went, through South Dakota, went to a few schools in South Dakota and in Minnesota. And I was just like, hey, why not make a pit stop at Gustavus? Came here, blew my mind. All the people were so nice. And that's honestly, when it came down to it, that's why I came here, was the people. But then also, I remember having a meeting with Henry McCarthy.
he's a character.
Oh, yes, he is. And you know all about this now
I
from beginning
do.
up. But he was... I remember I had to, try out in front of him. Oh, gosh, that was so nerve-wracking.
I'm sure.
But he said afterwards that the theater, there are people in the theater department that actually swim too. And no other school that I went to said that was possible. That was even possible that I could do swimming in theater. And so that's one reason I was like, hey, I have a lot of things that I would want to do. I don't want to just narrow it down to one thing right away, because who knows if that's really what I want to do.
Right.
So that's another thing that really made me want to come here, is because, hey, I could actually pursue my dreams here, which might be more than one thing. And now, hey, I'm in film and I'm swimming, and it's great. And I mean, other things as well, like I'm a peer assistant and whatnot, but it's really nice to be involved in just more than one thing on campus. I might be a little overcommitted.
Cool.
It's a completely other problem in my life, but
Yes.
better than not being undercommitted, I think.
It's a good point.
In certain aspects.
Well, okay.
I don't want to like go and like tell people, oh, go like join every single thing out there, because that's probably not the best thing to do.
It's true,
The
but
worst thing to do.
no.
It's always like meth and heroin.
Right?
Yeah, those are pretty
I
bad.
mean, combined, like that'd be pretty bad.
They're
Other
co-
than they're fine.
It's called
Yes.
goofballs. If you wanted to know
Good.
the street term.
Wait, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
So don't ever
Goofball.
take one. If you're want to go be a goofball, don't do that.
No.
Okay, good
Being
to know.
goofballs.
The Goofy movie. That's what it was about.
Yikes. Yikes.
Father and son went on a
Childhood
heroin meth addict run.
Became heroin heroes.
Yep.
Double H.
Double H.
Heroin heroes.
Yeah, I know.
That was ridiculous. I've never done that before. Because when we were talking about Heffrey, right? Then
Yes.
like, the,
Heffrey.
okay.
Fan of the H, huh?
I am. Just love that H sound.
Dead H.
Well, that's cool.
All right. That's very interesting.
Um,
You already looked at it, didn't you?
so
No, I didn't, I promise.
with the H, do you like names with H's? Like I'm
know
just
what?
curious.
This is actually
This is
a good
not a
question.
segue. This is a real question.
No, this is funny. I mean, it's kind of strange, but it's good.
Yeah.
Maybe I like H because and this is actually, I don't know, just a theory,
Sure.
a very strange theory, but if I was going to be a boy in the womb, my parents were thinking that I could be a Hayden.
Okay.
So,
Would you?
Hayden. Hayden.
Sure.
Could be Habby.
Heavy. Thanks.
Sounds like
Heavy.
Gabby Num Nums
Heavy.
from Master of Disguise. No.
Oh, yeah.
Gabby Num Nums. Habby Num Nums. Oh,
Hmm.
great movie.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Have you thought about like naming kids certain things? Like, do you know that? I mean, people do. I don't know.
Okay, I have,
Uh-huh.
actually. It's... Okay, this is going to sound kind of silly, but I think that my sister's name... I think this would be weird if I named my children after my sister. Sorry, that was my phone. But
That's weird.
that was really weird. But I really like my sister's name, Della. So
Mhm.
I don't even know... It could be a middle name, but I just love her name so much. I want it to be...
My uncle's name is Jeff.
Really?
My mom's brother.
See?
She wanted to name me Jeff Ree, but
I just
So it's
really
pop-
like the
people
name
do it.
Della. I really like the name Della. And I think that she wouldn't be weirded out by it. I mean, you just need to figure out, when it comes to family gatherings.
yep, it works itself out.
And I
'cause-
mean,
yeah.
you say like, oh, Aunt Della, or, like,
Big and little.
exactly.
Yep.
Big Della, little Della.
Yep. My
Big D, little D. Okay, that was too far. Sorry. I'm sorry.
my cousin Jack, he's my age. We're 19 days apart, and he couldn't say Jeffrey for most of his probably 0 to 3 or 4, and so he called me Fuffy. And so me and my uncle became Big Fuff and Little Fuff, and we still are Big Fuff and Little
That's
Fuff at
great.
family gatherings. So
That is
Like
so
it a
cute.
lot.
it works out.
That is really cute.
Christmas presents, Big Fuff, Little Fuff. We know what's up.
So,
My name was Gomer coming up. Gomer and Big Shooter.
Why?
That's interesting.
I was so my mom's teacher from when she was little, like in high school, she had a cabin up by where our cabin was.
Oh, yeah.
So her son came over, like, I met him when he was, like, 16, so I think I was, like, 8 or something, so he was about 8, 9 years older than me. Pretty much like my big brother growing up. And then my dad gave him the nickname Shorty, and to this day I call him Shorty. His real name's Steve. I don't know, Steve Silliman, but it sounds weird. It's Shorty. It's Shorty. But
Shorty.
Then I was like, I want a nickname. So he's like,
Yeah.
like Big Shooter and like Gomer. Like both of them stick. And if you listen, like at swim meets, if my mom's there, she'll yell "Go Gomer" before my races, and I like
cute.
look up at her and smile, and then I go about my race.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's really cool. It's to the point where like I have better swims when I hear that. Just because like I don't get to hear it that often anymore, so I really appreciate it when I do. That's something that's really cool about college. Like,
definitely.
you realize how cool it is to have your parents at swim meets.
I think you appreciate your family so much more, like when you are away from them. Yeah, when you aren't around them.
Yeah.
Because you don't realize, how much of a difference they make in your life.
Yes.
Until they're gone. And you're like, how do I do my laundry again? I'm just joking. I know how to do laundry.
I texted my mom the other day and asked her how I should wash my sheets. She told me hot, because they're going to be gross. Because I hadn't washed them for 2 months. She said that should be like a once...
2 weeks.
That should be like a once every 2 weeks kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nah.
I said no.
Ain't about that.
That'll be a once every 2 months thing.
If that. You might not wash them again the rest of the year.
I'll bring them home over spring break.
Oh, sure. That's right.
No, I won't. That's a lot to bring home.
It's always something that I forget too, though. I mean, I'll go
But it's something
longer.
that is nice to have clean, though.
Mm-hmm. It's so
Last
nice.
night was cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's one thing that I kind of miss is taking a bath. It has to be a bath.
I love baths.
And then
in the world.
and then going into clean sheets.
When I go home, I take like 3 a day.
That's,
I like OD on them.
that's
Right?
too many.
They're so...
It is too many, but I'm in there. Each one's like 20 minutes, like on my phone or reading a book, just chilling in the tub.
It's great.
At the end, it's pretty much of my own filth, and it gets cold.
That is a problem. They get cold, so then
Darn
You
tubs.
turn the knob
I just turn the knob.
with your foot.
Mm-hmm.
Drain a little bit, even
I'm the
it
pro
out.
at turning the knob with a foot.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm. And
I love
other
bathtubs.
things too. When you like don't want to get out of bed, you just like...
Oh, yeah.
grab-
Feet.
Well, actually, because my bed is kind of lofted, so if I have like a pencil, literally like just a pencil that's down on the ground, I don't want to get out of bed. So I will grab my toe and take literally 5 minutes to try and get this pen when it would have been so easy to just go down. I get out of my bed and grab it, but I don't want to get out of those covers.
No.
Just one leg is all it
Yep.
takes.
You're like, come on.
Or my arm, but sometimes, then I'll just fall out.
And then you get it. Sometimes you throw it further away on accident. You're like, come on.
Toes work better.
Come
but
on, right?
it's sometimes not. I mean, it just depends on, the placement of the pen.
Yeah.
Depends on the day for me. Some days I'm just on.
Mm-hmm.
Most days I'm not.
So,
Relationships.
you about those?
Have one?
This
This isn't me asking you out. This is just a question.
I know, I thought you were hitting on me there for a second. Well, do you want to know something? No, I'm just joking.
Yes, we do.
What was the question? No, I'm just joking. I have been single my whole life. Like, I haven't really been boyfriend, girlfriend with anybody. Besides one exception. In 7th grade,
Ooh.
I dated an 8th grader. He asked me out over a walkie-talkie.
What?
I like that. That's
Yes.
cool. I want to do that.
He asked me out. I remember there was a girls' bus and a guys' bus for a track meet. And there's walkie-talkies between the two buses. And he was on the guy bus.
Whoa.
And I was on the girl bus. He was an 8th grader.
And
he was like
hearing
a
ya.
hot commodity. And apparently everybody knew that he liked me, and he asked me out. And I was like, of course I will, because I was, this little 7th grader.
Yeah, wouldn't you?
The closest we got to anything was hugging. And I
hugging
was so
is
scared
nice.
of him.
Hugging is nice.
I do like hugs. I did not know that in 7th grade. I was even scared of hugs.
Yeah, the exact same
opposite
thing.
sex.
Like 7th grade relationship, like the
I
biggest we got was like I put my arm around her at a movie. We went on one date to Blades of Glory. It was delightful, and I did the move.
Blades of Glory.
Took me 30 minutes to work up the courage.
Oh man, I definitely. I remember seeing him in the hallway and turning the other way and running into the girls' bathroom because I was so scared of him.
Oh my gosh! While you were
know.
dating,
You were dating
And
him.
we were dating.
Seventh grade relationships are weird.
It was weird.
It's
It was a weird
awkward.
time in my life. I did
Takes
not.
any sort of friendship there was there and
Mhm.
makes it just like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I
Right?
do?
I did not know what to do. I freaked out. Anyway, so that was the one relationship I've been in. I mean, I have a crush on
Who is the first crush you ever
a
had?
guy right now, but what?
we'll get back to that.
Ooh. You like look down.
No, nothing.
Oh, there's nothing. That's
Oh,
not how this
oh,
works.
oh.
No, you said something
So
else.
your
What were you
first
gonna say?
crush.
First crush ever that you can remember.
Ooh, good question. I know exactly who it
We should
was.
write that one down.
It
That
was
should be
this-
your segue.
It was a good segue question. I like it. Whenever I think of segue, I think of like the actual
Think of a fat guy going forward
right
every
mall
time.
cop. Okay,
Yep.
anyway.
Yep.
First crush. It was definitely kindergarten.
What's
Yep.
his name?
Gosh dang, I don't remember his name, but I remember he had bleach hair. It was like brown, but then he had bleach tips. You know?
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
it's called a shoe
Um,
shine.
Like he got like.
Oh, the
I used to get
shoe
those
Like
shine.
he got
too.
like barely dipped in a.
He was quite attractive. I remember he had big lips. Is that weird?
Is
No,
that a
I
thing
remember
you
he had
go
big
for?
I mean, I was in kindergarten, so I didn't think it was a
Big
thing back then.
lips.
But I guess it was. Anyway, I remember
Luscious.
luscious big lips and bleached tips. But I just remember he chased me around the playground a lot, and I loved it. When
Oh
he
my
chased-
gosh.
I loved it when he chased me. I
You
wanted
do
him
like
to
the
chase me
chase.
every single recess. And when he wasn't there, I'd be very sad because he wasn't there to chase me.
That sounds like how I met your brother where I'm gonna hold your hand so hard.
Yeah, like let's look at sandwiches. Grace made a How I Met Your Mother reference to holding
I'm
hands
gonna
really
hold
hard.
your hand so hard.
It's so hard.
But anyway, that was my first crush. It was great.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Have
It
you had
never led to
things
anything.
at all? You were in
Things.
kindergarten, so I hope it didn't lead to things. Like, have you had?
Like in college or
No, just like through the ages. You said you never dated anybody. But have you had like?
I've had a
thing.
thing. Okay, yeah, I had a thing with he was a basketball player. Gosh dang, actually, you want to know something? I had
yes.
Gosh,
the biggest crush on him. His name was Casey Esponda.
Did he change it?
His name is actually.
I was just that too,
You're
and I'm like,
so funny.
I know, just on the ball tonight. That's a joke we make every week.
Who's we?
I make it every week. We as in a Now You Know Me hosts.
Okay.
That's great. No,
When I say, you say.
But his name was Casey Esponda, and my gosh, I just had the biggest crush on him for like 3 years. And I remember we were always good friends, you know, but he was kind of quiet.
Sure.
And he was the all-star basketball player, all-star everything, soccer player. He was really good at that. Super nice. He was in Balladeers, which was like the singing group with me. And he was really good. He had like this really low bass voice. Anyway.
So why wasn't he getting every woman? Sounds like this is the catch.
He was.
He was a catch, but he was kind of shy, so I guess not many girls went for him just because of that
He's
reason.
mysterious.
Yeah,
You were on the right track. Everyone else was misguided.
Oh yeah, but then this was where it all went wrong.
Oh no.
Prom,
Is this the blood
senior
story?
year. This is a blood story.
Prom.
You
Ah.
want me to tell that, or I already told
Yes. People need to know.
People should know this is a good story.
Ah. I don't
it's
like
a
him
sad-
anymore.
you that? Yeah,
This is
it's a
good.
sad story. It's a very sad story,
I'll
but
find him.
Love hardships and all.
Casey Esponda, if you're out there, gosh, man, this was a devastating time in my life. It was a very, very sad day when this happened, but it was, I just remember it was Super Bowl night, right?
Mhm.
All my friends and I were at my house. Mara Von Holst, one of my friends, comes over and says, Abby, oh my gosh, Casey Esponda isn't going to prom with this one girl anymore. You have to ask him out.
All in one breath.
Or you have to ask him to prom. And I was like, no, I'm too scared. No, he's going to say no. Mara was insistent. She said, no, you have to ask him. He would, of course, say yes. He would say yes. He would say yes. He would say yes. And I said, well, okay. So then that night, we decide to go grab some car paint, like paint that, or window paint,
Yeah.
that you can put on windows. We're going to put it on his car and say, hey, Casey, will you go to prom with me? Abby. Innocent enough, right? But we go...
Very.
Right?
Yeah.
Then we're going around town looking for his house and trying to find his car. Can't find his car because he's in the middle of nowhere with his friends. Because Wyoming, it's hard to find houses that are actually in town these
The whole
days.
thing
They're
is
all
middle of nowhere.
right. Anyway,
Do you have a big town?
it's 4,000 people. The town is
That
like
is
4,000.
not very big.
That's the biggest
not
city.
big.
Is that your
Our
capital?
graduating class was 86 people. Yeah.
Wyoming
Mine was
doesn't.
146. 140. Sorry,
Okay.
Canada didn't graduate.
Okay, so
Mine was 551,
yikes.
and we started with 700.
Okay.
So 150 of ours
Good.
didn't graduate. So
150 did not graduate. Good
Yeah.
for them. Cool.
yeah.
Eh.
Oh well.
Too bad for
Not very
them.
many.
What?
I mean, that's a lot of people
Yeah.
to not graduate. Like that's a high percentage rate.
Yeah.
We were in a good class.
Significant.
Anyway.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I love these off stories, but or side notes. I don't know what you would call them. Anyway.
Soapboxes.
Yeah. Anyway, so did not find his car.
You're right.
Right? And so I'm like, okay, well, you guys, it's just not meant to be. Let's just not do this. By the way, it was just more than me. It was Mara von Holst, but then it was also my sister, Susie, both of my two best friends, and Bonnie Sweat, who is just another girl.
Whoa. See that was Bonnie.
Just another girl.
Just
Like these three.
No,
on
Bonnie
for the
was
ride.
great.
Bonnie was there too.
Bonnie was great. No, it was a good group of girls. But,
Yeah.
And anyway, so I just remember I was like, no, let's just give up now. Mara was insistent. She said, no, let's keep on doing this. Let's make a poster and put it on his door to his house.
Good.
And I was like, okay, well, I guess we can. That sounds fine, So we make this poster that says, Casey, will you go to prom with me? Put my number on there, Abby. Let me know. Or I didn't say let me know. I just put my number on there. What? I wasn't that lame. Let me know. But so it was cute. I had all these cute little hearts and stuff
Sure.
like that. Of course, gotta have the hearts.
Obviously.
I'm a girl. But
It's a girl.
I mean that doesn't mean anything. Sorry, hearts don't mean anything. Okay, but let's see. Oh yeah, then we go over to. But his house is in the middle of nowhere, right? We go on this dirt road. It starts snowing. It's only 7 o'clock at night, but it's dark. Super Bowl, it's pretty dark. And these dogs start barking and chasing our car. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. And then we get to his house. And we get the poster all ready and taped up. It's all ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend Bonnie and I were going to go out there. And I was going to tape the poster on the door. And so I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, go. And then we get out there. But as I'm shutting the door to the car, my finger gets caught in the car door, and I'm just in such a hurry that I don't even think about it. I yank my finger out, and it yanks almost all the skin off of my finger off. And I didn't notice this at the time because I just had so much adrenaline. I was like, okay, let's get this done. So then I go over to, go up the steps, go up to the porch, start taping it on. Oh, by the way, the dogs are barking at me. So, they're barking at me. I have this bloody finger that I didn't realize at the time was super bloody. And this poster, I was taping it up on the door, right? The door, I just put a little bit of pressure on the door. The door swings wide open. So apparently they leave their doors open in Wyoming, and I didn't know this. But it swings wide open. The dogs go rushing in. I don't even know if it was their dogs or not. Who knows? And I see their entire living room and kitchen just there. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I get a chance to look down at my finger that's completely, it's covered in blood. My hand is covered in blood. And then I shut the door quickly. And then I hear a woman's voice there's somebody at the door. I think it's a robber. I'm like, no. And I start freaking out, and I start taping the poster on the door a little bit more, but my finger is so bloody. There's blood all over the poster, and I didn't realize it at the time that there was so much blood. And I just go F it. I won't say.
That's good. We're not allowed to.
Oh, good. Okay. I just said heck with it.
Phew.
Heck. I know. Yeah. Heck with it. And I ran down the porch steps and into the car, and I look at my hand, it's, covered in blood, and we start driving away, and I see the poster, it's like hanging by a little piece of tape, and it's like flying in the breeze, because it's like still snowing out, and the marker, the marker, that I use, it starts to like bleed, so it looks like a horror movie. It looks like a horror movie because there's my blood, and it says, "Well, you got to prom with me," with these like parts that have like ink going down it.
Oh my god!
Oh, it was terrible. And then I get a call later on from Casey saying, "You trespassed. Why did you do that?" And I was like, "I was just asking you to prom," and I felt really bad about it. And so anyway, then it was really awkward because the next day there was only 5 people that made it to All-State Jazz. And he was one of those people. I was one of those people. And we were on a bus for 3 hours. Yeah.
And he said no.
I gave him a letter to give to his mom saying I'm sorry. It was like a sorry note to his mom. I thought I was being, really nice. And I had this huge bandage on my finger. I don't think he realized that it was because of what happened the night before. But he's like, it was really awkward. He texts me from 2 seats away. He texts me, "I'll talk to you about prom later, okay?" What? He texts me. What? Who does that? Anyway,
Who does that?
only really shy people, apparently. But he called me the next day and said somebody already asked him. And I'm like, really? Did somebody already ask you? But anyway, long story short, I didn't go to prom with him. And I ended up going with this other dude who left me to get high with his friends, and I got announced prom queen, and he left with his friends to go get high. That was really sad. But, yeah.
Prom is stupid.
Prom is lame. That is true.
I didn't like it. It was a waste of money. Yuck.
I got a free iPod Touch my junior year, so that made it worth it. But
That sounds like it was worth
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm. If you go with your friends, it's so much better. But
Yeah.
you kind of need a date, because we have this thing in my school called Grand March, where you're like, did you guys have
we
that
don't
too?
have that.
Okay. See,
No.
oh, okay.
So you just don't have to do Grand March then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. People just did that a lot.
That's
I don't
true.
know.
I
I
should've
went
just done
one year
that.
with a friend, and that was okay. Like going with I went with a girlfriend the second time, and it was way more fun.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'll never go to people unless I have a girlfriend to go with, or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah. I've gone all years with friends, and it's been fun. But
It's not my thing, I guess.
no, that's fine. I mean, it
So
depends.
you said you had a crush now. Can
Maybe.
you talk about that? You don't have to say the names.
You can, though.
You should.
How many people are listening? 2 people? You?
Assume the entire
You
world
and
is
one
going
other
on
person.
YouTube.
Let me just... well...
We could bleep it out.
It's true. We could
I could
spend.
learn to bleep.
We could learn to bleep.
Well, you guys know him.
Oh.
No, but just
Oh.
as long as you don't judge me.
You're making this more and more fun.
Yep.
Keep building it up.
Well, okay, so you're gonna know who it is once I give you a few
Ooh,
hints.
let's play this game.
Okay, just ask me some questions and I'll say yes or no. Or
What's his name?
no, besides that.
Does he have hair? Mm-hmm. So it's not Alex Lindstrom.
He has
Okay.
really nice, thick, soft hair, which I really like to play with.
Thick, soft hair. Is it longer or shorter?
He spikes it up sometimes, and I don't like when he spikes it. I like when it's just soft.
Is it always spiked?
I like it when it's just soft. He says his face looks rounder that way, but I'm like, no, your face looks fine, like the way it is.
Uh-huh.
Is he a swimmer?
No,
Oh.
he is not.
This
It makes
significantly
it harder,
makes
but
it
you guys
harder.
know him. You guys know him.
Ah. Who do we know is not a swimmer? Start listening, people. It can't be very many.
Ask more questions. I'm giving you lots of hints.
Are you?
I don't know
Well,
any.
I will give you more hints.
We don't
if
know
you
any
ask more questions.
non-swimmers. We do.
Ask him where he lives.
Where does he live?
Ask me where.
Wait.
Ask him. He lives in College U.
Okay. Who does he live with?
I know who it is. I win.
Oh, yeah? You win?
I do. Your
Hardly.
turn. Keep guessing.
Keep guessing.
He.
Did you do your little dancing thing with him? Is it Gunner?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
No judgment.
I'm not judging. I judged a little, I'm sorry.
Keep it a secret, though.
It's not a secret. Secret's out.
Yep.
Secret's out.
He could be
It's
the one
public.
listening.
He's one like,
If he likes you back, then he'll see that you were tagged in 2 posts, and then he will have been checking your Facebook constantly, because that's what guys do when they like a girl, I guess. Did you do that? He said yeah, very quietly.
yeah.
So he'll be listening. He could have just logged in and heard his name said on the air.
Oh, shoot. Well, that's okay.
Tomorrow I'll see an update of the Facebook status.
I think he kind of knows
too.
that I have a crush on him.
Cool. That's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of exciting. It's fun.
He does
He's
a lot
a
of-
really. He
hear from-
honestly, he's been such a great partner for swing dancing. He picks me up like I'm a toothpick, and it makes me feel awesome. Feels like I can fly.
So he's using it for his body.
No,
Sounds like it.
no.
That's what I got.
Definitely not. He's really nice. He
Sure.
honestly is.
It's because that's what you said first, right? That he's nice.
No, okay, so the other day I was showing him some of the
was the
movies that
second thing
I
you said.
directed. I'm being very serious here now. I showed him some of the movies that I directed, or not directed, but, well, directed and edited and everything. And he's like, no, I want to see these. Like, I really want to see these. And he was really interested, and I don't know. Not many people are interested in what I have to show, especially with my
Sure.
movies, so when people want to watch them, it just makes me happy.
I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Facebook friends,
Yeah.
you could totally
I almost liked him. I almost requested an invite to our page.
Oh.
That.
I might not do that anymore. Just because it'll say Abby Lyle. I'll be like, click.
It's like sweet free answers.
3 answers into her life that
Click.
Yeah.
Was-
Because it's recorded.
Well,
it's recorded, and then we're putting it on to YouTube.
Oh, yes, I forgot about
So
this.
I could
We
bleep
could.
his name.
We're just
out
gonna
if you
bleep the rest of the show out. It's gonna be one long.
want. I would just edit it out
Okay.
if you want that.
Oh,
if
no,
not,
I'm
gonna keep it in. I like it
totally
better.
fine with it, and you can keep it.
Maybe it'll like speed things along. No, it won't speed things along.
No, it doesn't
You
matter.
shook your head. No, I said nope. Hold the phone, Andy. Things are gonna take forever,
No, I
and you'll
don't.
be dead.
Not gonna take forever. Oh,
What's
I don't
that
know.
mean?
You're not saying anything. I don't know. I'm just putting my tongue in my mouth a lot right now.
As opposed to sticking it out.
Foot in my mouth, tongue in my mouth. You know what I mean.
I do. I know exactly what you meant. So, unless you have anything else to say about this mystery man who we know. I'm just trying
We
to
know.
do that in case I decide to edit it out. I don't know. Maybe I'll make the executive decision.
I had a huge crush on this guy for a really long time, but then I found out that he's like kind of quiet and
It's not Zach.
It sounds sad.
Not Zach.
no.
I thought he was gonna.
And I was like, quiet. I was like,
exactly where
not
you went.
Zach.
Anyways,
Zach's great, but it's not him.
the Chippendale guy.
Yep. It was that story, the embarrassing story.
Oh, that honestly, that was the most adorable thing I've ever heard. If you would have done that to
Okay.
me, I'd be like, all right,
See, it depends on the guy. Okay, honestly.
let's go.
Okay, so here, I'll just tell the story for the one other person out there listening.
It's Tommy Panetti.
No!
Oh my
Hi, Tommy.
god! Of all the people, that's beautiful, Tommy.
Oh, great.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that moment in my life. Woo.
Okay. Anyway,
Oh.
wow, that's gonna go Okay. What were we talking about?
I don't even remember.
Okay. Gosh. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's about this embarrassing story. So,
Right.
this guy is honestly every single girl in the school has a crush on him. I don't know actually. That might be false, but he was a pretty hot commodity around campus. This is the guy that I used to have a crush on a while ago. I think he has a girlfriend
On this
now.
campus?
Yeah. This was last year. I had a big crush on him. It was like in the spring.
Was this the one at the bar
Yes.
that we talked about while you were getting ready?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You guys know everything. Okay.
We just remember a lot.
Well, so embarrassing story, right? I was...
The cake incident.
No. This was after. Okay, so... Gosh, man.
I do remember.
So
That's a funny story.
Well, I just remember, like, everything that I did, it just, like, happened to be in front of him. Just because, like, I didn't know how to, like, act around him because I didn't know him that well. So that
Kind of
was
a goofball.
Yeah, and so I just remember I was in the sauna, and he was outside of the sauna, and he had, like, his hands, and I just remember saying, oh, it'd be fun to talk with him more. And I was like, okay, yeah, this would be fun. I'll do it, definitely. And so I go over to him. He had his hands, like, on his face, like, with a towel over his face. So he didn't see me coming up to him, right? So it was like, surprise attack, right? And I go over to him, and I just kind of, like, rustle his hair with my hand, right?
Like a little brother.
He doesn't know who it is at all because the towel is literally in his face. His eyes are closed. I rustle his hair. He looks up slowly, and he gives me the strangest look. And I say, we should hang out sometime. And then he just stares at me. And I then just keep on walking because he doesn't say anything. And I keep on looking behind me to see if he says something. And then he goes, he just gives me the even weirder look, like dog caught in the headlights, or I don't know, person
Deer.
caught. Deer. Thank you, dog.
You hit a lot of dogs in Wyoming? Is this the dog hitting state now, not the problem drinker
I
state?
don't know why I said dog, but deer caught in the headlights look, and he just kind of, I can't explain the look in a microphone.
Didn't say anything?
But he kind of puts his, I don't know, it was kind of like this really slow nod, really slow, like tentative, like
Yeah, I guess.
not in a million years. That's what it was like. And I was just like, oh shoot!
And you didn't-
I just ruined my entire
And you didn't hang out
any
with
chance
him?
that I had with him at all. At all. I didn't even have a chance with this guy to begin with. And then later that day, I think it was actually later that day or the next day, the cake incident happened where
I like this one.
I was in the calf, and I remember it was after a performance. So I actually was kind of dolled up because I just had this performance for choir. And I was like, oh, I look really pretty. No, not really. False. But then,
True.
But then I remember somebody's birthday was that day, and they had extra cake, right? And I was like, oh, nobody's around. Like, I was just at this table with maybe like a couple other people at the end of the table. And I just go up to this cake, grab a huge bite. Well, I mean, I just kind of like stab it with a fork, right? I
Go
just
for
stab
it.
it and grab this huge piece of cake. And I was like, nobody's looking. I'm just going to put this entire thing in my mouth. And then I look up as I'm stuffing it in my mouth. And who is it but this dude who I will not name. But it was him. And he's never in the calf. That's why it was such a, I was like, what? No. And he was
Looking at
a
you.
table across from me. And I had frosting like on my lips too afterwards. And I'm just like trying to get it out really slowly. But it was
Greatest
terrible.
moment
It was
ever.
so bad. Oh, man. So, I mean, nothing... I've had many embarrassing moments when it comes to guys, but I should just put them in some of the movies that hopefully I'll
should,
make
yeah.
sometime, you
Good
know?
idea, Grace.
Right? Anyway. But yeah, that was...
That's exciting. You have a great love life.
Oh, my love life is just
Booming.
ups and downs. It's booming, that's for sure. I mean, it's definitely like a love song, let's just say that much.
That's nice.
You belong with me.
Speaking of songs, now's about, well, we're quite a ways over our halfway point,
Ooh,
but
yeah.
that doesn't matter. We can go till midnight. There's no one after us, so it's just us.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
But we like to have a break in the middle, and then we pick a song, and then you get to pick a song.
Cool.
And then you get to talk
So-
about it, so have it be something that has some sort of a meaning to you, or in whatever way. It doesn't need to be like, this was changed my
I
life.
really, really like this. I like this a lot.
So if you have a
You're
song...
gonna think.
Okay, I actually have one already.
Okay. Well, and
Go
we'll...
second.
Yeah,
What's your turn?
you go second.
What are we
Go,
doing this
go
week?
first.
I'm going to play the one.
What are we doing?
Okay, so the song this week,
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you with everyone else. So, this week I found out that I have this band, Radiohead. I'm sure you've heard of them.
Yes.
They're excellent. I didn't know that they were good, and I have
They're
5 of their albums on my iPod, so I just started listening through them, and so we're going to play this song. It's called High and Dry, and it's cool. And
And I could listen to it too, right? Like
Oh,
down
yeah.
here?
It's
Okay,
gonna
good,
be-
good.
we'll go
Okay.
into the other
It's the
room.
break time too, so
Yep.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I have
Yep.
to pee.
So we'll play that, and then we'll listen to Abby's, and then after that, Abby will tell us what the name of the song
always
is
thought
and
radio-
why it's important.
I always thought Radiohead was like a heavy metal band until
Yeah.
last night. Actually, last night
I've
you
only
showed
heard
me.
a couple songs, but I love
I
that.
thought they were like, I mean, like chill.
They're super cool. I really like them.
I really enjoy them a lot.
So we'll do that.
Good.
Cool. He's gonna go play them via the.
Reddit do.
Thought you doing that?
I just felt like doing that so much.
Oh,
I was watching-
Andy.
I was watching an Office episode just today, and it was during in and out times of studying,
Yeah.
and I don't know when they're going to start to play it.
No, just eventually we'll be quiet. We'll be muted. All right, where are you starting?
Okay,
Soon?
I'll-
We're just
I'll
gonna
just
cut
say-
out.
Kill yourself for recognition. Kill yourself to never ever stop. You broke another mirror. You're turning into something you are not. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Don't leave me high. Don't leave me dry. Drying up in conversation, you'll be the one who cannot talk. All your insides fall to pieces. You just sit there wishing you could still make love. They're the ones who hate you when you think you got the world all so stopped. They're the ones who spit at you. You'll be the one screaming out. Don't leave me high. plastic watering can for a fake Chinese rubber plant and a fake plastic girl. Which you bought from a rubber man in a town full of rubber plants to get rid of itself. The world's around. The world's around. The world's around.
Cool. We're
Yeah,
good?
we're back.
We back.
What up, world? We're here.
So that was "Drunk in the Woods" by Walk the Moon. Why is this song the song you chose?
Well, right now I'm just obsessed with it. That's pretty much why I chose it. But I also have just kind of not a funny story behind it, but it reminds me of this summer when I was actually...
Drunk in the Woods?
Yes. But I wasn't... I mean, like, I wasn't drunk, you know, but I mean, like, I was drinking in the woods. So it was...
Tipsy in the woods.
Yes. I was camping with my sister, and I miss my sister right now a lot. So that was just kind of...
We're close.
Yeah.
Couple
And
weeks. You are going home for
I'm
spring
going
break.
to California for her 21st birthday.
But with
so
your family.
drunk in the woods. I mean, it's not like I'm going to get her drunk or anything. But, I mean...
It's your 21st birthday.
She'll get herself drunk.
I'm going to,
Slash other people.
I'm going to show her a good time. We're going to go, have fun in California, maybe in LA. And my mom said she's going to rent us a limo. So I'm like, what? I know.
That sounds cool.
It's super
What up,
cool.
LA?
Right?
That's cool.
So it's going to be really fun.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, and her birthday's the 30th. So, yeah.
That's that's at Sunday.
And you're going to, yeah.
Mine's a Monday.
Mm-hmm. Sunday. But Saturday night, I'm still trying to figure out if Saturday night we can go out and California will accept her driver's license.
Yeah, they don't do that here.
They don't do that here,
8
I know.
a.m.
I know.
That's weird.
What?
It said on the sites that I looked at that it's possible, but I don't know. I need to check it out.
California
Sure, you
seems
could talk to
lenient.
people and they'd be like, yeah, close enough.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It depends on the person, really.
Yeah, exactly. And how strict the place is.
Mhm.
But anyway, anywho's.
So, just as a brief recap, the song that I picked, that High and Dry,
Mm-hmm.
it was in the movie 50-50. I don't know if you ever saw that with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen.
No, but doesn't he have cancer or something?
He does,
like
and
that?
he is, and the cancer that he has is it's like 50% survival rate.
Okay.
50-50.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie just was a big changer in my life where I was going through some things, and then when I saw that, I was like, pfft, so my things don't matter because people go through this every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just kind of put things in perspective.
Do we have that on campus? Like, is it here? Do you have it here?
I
it
don't
is.
think so. I can get it over
Next
spring
time,
break.
yeah. I want to watch that one.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And so, I mean, we were kind of talking about it already, but people that are adults, when we have these crushes, we aren't subtle anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we ever were. Like, I don't remember being all that subtle. I remember being terrified that they would find out for
It was-
whatever reason, because isn't that the point? But
I know what you mean, like, as far as, like, school crushes go, but, like, out of school crushes, I don't know, I never did stuff with people at school at all. Mine was always
Oh,
just
yeah.
swim cessed.
Funny.
But, like, I know, like some practice stuff, you'd be really concerned about it, but no one would really ever be able to tell. But then you'd go and, like, the instant you started hanging out with them, like, just you one-on-one, it was, like, immediate, like, all right, this
Yeah.
is a thing. Like,
Yeah.
it was no doubt with either person because, well, you're not in a group of some reason, it's just you two.
yeah, once you break that barrier,
Right. So it was blatantly obvious, I guess. But, like, on campus, I guess it's different. I don't know.
I don't know.
Once you start hanging out with a group of, like, not group, but, like, just that one person more than, like, normal, I suppose. It becomes
Yeah.
pretty obvious to whoever just sees you. And I guess you're at college, people usually assume things.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
it turns out their assumptions aren't wrong.
Yeah. Exactly. People know.
Mhm.
People know more than you think.
You give them credit for
Yeah.
it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
People watch. Body language shows so much.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so true.
Just watch shoulders.
Zach Gardner always
Watch
tells me
shoulders.
about that.
Yeah,
Like,
Jack
where-
Gardner can't talk about any of that because his body language is he wants to be with everyone.
Yep.
Everybody.
So
Pretty much.
I don't know if that's okay.
We have a running joke where it's like, of course he's holding or touching her now. It's like, oh, of course he knows that girl. Why wouldn't he know that girl?
Usually we're like, where'd Zach go? And then he's like holding on to some girl, and we're like, that makes sense.
Why
Why wouldn't he be doing that?
Obviously.
Oh, Zach.
worst closer in history. We'll have him on here eventually.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it.
Oh, good, yeah. Because I think he thinks that it's just like his personality, you know? And I mean...
But
But...
what? Is it just his personality?
Well, I don't think so.
What do you think, Abby?
Well, I don't want to say anything mean to that
Oh,
guy.
no. This isn't mean. This is all constructive. I think he, as much as he doesn't like hearing things, because he often gets mad at me when I tell him, like, well, anytime he does things, no, not grow up. I'm like, you're 22. this shouldn't be an issue anymore. The things like that, he doesn't like it, but he also, he's like, I know.
Well, I think it's kind of like a social, like a mechanism for like, social environments when he's around a lot of people. It's just kind of, his like go-to, I don't know, his like go-to plug.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like what he's done ever since he was younger, and it's worked for him.
Right,
So he's
right.
just done it ever since.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's, but I mean, I could say that I think because I'm his really good friend. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were on the receiving end at one point, so I think you have some
Exactly.
credibility.
Those are Garner. We all love you. But.
Mm-hmm. So the Lord, is he in your life?
Segues are weird.
No, that's great. Good segue.
That's why segues are weird. It's a Bo Burnham reference.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe in God. I really do. I am a firm believer in God. I don't go to church as much as I would like,
Me
but then
neither.
I also believe that God is with you no matter if you're in church or not.
Which church did you pick?
Did I pick?
Which
What,
group?
like-
Which team are you rooting for?
Well,
Buddhist.
That's
Well-
Haley was close. She always
but that's not a God-believing people.
many gods.
No, they don't. That's
That's
Hindu.
Hinduism. Sorry.
I
Go
guess
ahead.
I would relate mostly to Presbyterian.
Okay.
But I grew up Methodist. So, I mean Presbyterian Methodist. Went to a Lutheran college. I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, to me, I don't know. I have been really struggling lately, I guess, with who I think God is, what I believe. It's just such a mystery. At least to me, religion, it's definitely something that has been brought up by society, and so I want to do what I, as an individual, think is right, and not go with what society is believing, because that's what I did when I was younger. I just
Sure.
went with what
Right, because
my parents did and what everybody else was doing. Which is, and I think that's a terrible way to believe in God or believe in some kind of religion. I think
just because you were told when you were
exactly, and so
Should question
I'm
at some point.
I'm still really figuring it out. But I know that I believe in God. I know that He's out there, and I know that He's He loves everyone, and I know that after this life, I am going to my soul will live on, but the other stuff in between there is very fuzzy, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah, yes.
I'm still figuring out. I'm definitely. I had a religion in America class this past semester, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It helped me a lot realize how much I need to know and how much I need to learn. And right now in college, I am having a lot of trouble finding time just for myself to even just to even read the Bible, because I haven't read the Bible all the way through, and that's one of my goals in life is to read the Bible, even though I might not believe in everything that the Bible has to say.
But it's one of those things that people often don't
I
think
feel
about.
like I
It's
should read
it's
it.
very it's a cultural book. It was written in a time period, and so things are gonna change. It's,
Exactly.
I was listening to a podcast today with Brett Ernst. It's the Pete Holmes one. It was actually during my run, and he was talking about how he decided just to read the Bible because it was a book that changed the world, and he had never read it, and he's like, it's influenced so many people's lives. Like, how many of the books have done? None. None have done that. So why wouldn't you read it? And I remember at some point he was talking about Jesus and like if there's a God up there, like why wouldn't He make a son to come down to earth? And then I was just kind of running and thinking, I'm like, well, even if Jesus is the Son of God, He was such a cool person and such a radical and had such really just cool values and beliefs that He created a whole religion and strengthened it and that's crazy.
yeah, that's his main point. So he's like, it wasn't just a terrible person.
Yeah, even
He was a cool dude, and
even if for the atheists out there, like,
What he had to say was important.
yeah,
It's history.
yeah, he was just a really cool guy, and like,
Mhm.
I don't know, I think
Yeah.
that's really cool.
That's something to believe in for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I'm right there with you as far as like I'm not really sure
Yeah.
what I'm doing, but I'm fairly certain there's something out there. Like the further I like think about it, just
Mhm.
kind of like mentally process it.
Mhm.
Pretty
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, and the problem with me is that I don't want to put a label on my religion at all. Like,
Oh.
I really don't. I hate the idea of saying, oh, I'm Lutheran, or oh, I'm this, or oh, I'm that, because I don't believe I'm any of them. I just really want to go with what my heart tells me,
Mhm.
and go from there. So it's been a long. I mean, I've had my whole year, oh my gosh, my whole life to think about this, you know, and I think it's just gonna grow stronger as I get out of college, because then I think I'll have more time to myself, even just like with my own thoughts. Because right now, you know, we're constantly going 24/7. I mean, being at Gustavus, you know, you're like honestly, totally always busy. Whether that be, you know, busy with classes or busy with extracurriculars, or busy just like trying to relax
Right.
and not thinking about religion. But I think, and you know, I think a lot of people here on campus would kind of relate to that, but at the same time, you know, there's some people that make it work, but I'm not one of those people. I'm kind of lazy, but but yeah, it definitely takes a lot of mind, a lot of your mind, like a lot of, you know, presence, like in the moment. And I think I got a lot of that from being in camp at Camp Amnicon. But then leaving there it's like a completely different world. And then I had to kind of get back in the swing of, you know, college and classes. But yeah, so I mean, I think that all of my experiences has led me to what I believe right now, but who knows really what's going to happen in the future.
Well, that's cool. So you kind of already answered it. We always ask like a dead over kind of a thing. Like, what do you think happens? And you said that you think that your soul will live on. And what is,
Tail.
yeah, is that,
Wow.
I mean, this is,
That's a deep question.
right, because it's, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we don't know, but.
Yeah. Well, in my mind,
Mhm.
which is probably, I mean, okay, this is going to sound really abstract.
Sure.
Go for
But
it.
I think that it's whatever that individual believes is going to happen to them in the end. Does that make sense?
Very much so.
If I believe that, and I guess I'm making it more simplistic than it's actually in my head because it's very abstract. But if I believe that I'm going to live on, then I will. And if somebody else believes that, oh, I'm dead after this,
Light
I'm
switch just
the
off.
light switch is off. I'm, you know, nothing's going to happen to my body or soul after this. It's not going to. And then for other people, I mean, that's what I believe. And for other people, you know, if they believe in God, they'll go be with God.
With him.
No, yeah, I'm actually right there
That's
with
cool.
you. I think that
I
That'd be
think
really
it's something
cool if,
like
like-
that, but
you get what you want.
If there's
Because
like a choice, like you go up there and then there's this guy in a little toll booth who's like, "What do you want to do now? You can be done. You can go try again." It's like
that'd be the best. I
Um,
think, you know, if everyone got an option, like, even if you
Yeah.
went your whole life not believing anything,
all the religions
and they got there and they're
correct.
like,
yeah.
"What do you
Yeah.
want to do?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, I'll try that out." You'd be
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah,
I'll be an
exactly.
eagle. Cool. Let's do it.
Yeah. And I think that's why I love other religions. I love studying other religions, and I'm completely open to other religions because who knows, maybe I'll believe that in a couple of years from now. I know that sounds kind of silly, but maybe I will want to be an eagle, you know, when I go into the afterlife,
Right.
or, you know, and maybe reincarnation is what I start to believe in. But, or, I mean, it just, I don't know. I think that, you know, that's definitely a really positive way of looking at it. But I mean, if I really believe in the power of positivity, and, you know, somebody that believes, oh, I'm going to hell for sure after this, then
Uh-oh.
probably
Uh-oh.
might, you know,
Whoa.
who knows? But yikes, no.
Yeah.
But I just believe that we all are, destined for something. I mean, we're here on this planet for a reason.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, another thing that Brett Ernst, I really liked this episode, did a lot of research on it and for a class. And one of the things that he said is that, well, he made it very hard to not believe at least that there's something. Because he makes a very, very tight argument. And he's like, science says you can't destroy or create energy. He's like, there's something in it. He's like, so it has to go somewhere. He's like, whether it's conscious or not, he's like, we will never know. But it's going somewhere. I was like, well, shoot. I mean, even if you didn't, I was already on board to begin with. But when he said that, I was like, yeah, well, true. That, and I'm going to put that in my back pocket when someone says no and gets all angry at me. Like, but have you thought about this? Yeah. It's a very interesting point.
It's a great question. I'm really glad that you guys asked that because it's definitely something, when you don't go about your everyday life saying, oh, what do I believe?
Right.
It's a great kind of
to make you try to pinpoint it is even just to think through it is hard.
And then
probably go back later and
verbalize
think over it again. I should have been like this and this. But just because in your head you're kind of everything just races and then it goes like this, whatever. But to vocalize that mess is hard and helps kind of, I don't know, figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like talking to people about it. And it's cool having someone. Because I know coming to college, I learned to think a lot more. And the biggest thing, the biggest change I've seen in myself in the last couple of years is being able to talk to myself and just communicate with myself and figure out what I want, what I need, what I think, and just critical thinking skills. And it's cool to have someone where you're a senior, so you've been pretty developed through college, and you've changed probably a lot. And just having a bunch of freshmen on here, they had very good thoughts, and I'm not saying that their thoughts were in any way bad.
They're just underdeveloped.
It's interesting seeing more of a developed, and you've actually put time into trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
My freshman year, I was really big on the whole just being at college.
Yeah. Just getting used to it. It's hard. It's a different world. That's for
yes,
sure.
it is.
Do you have any note card questions? I can think of any.
That's
part we do note card questions, so we usually So since we've known everyone on the show so far, we've just had kind of questions you want to ask people, and they probably just came up anyways throughout the talking. But we usually write them on a note card, or we open it up to anybody listening. Send us a text or Facebook, and we'll ask Abby the said question. So if Tommy needs to know anything more about Mystery Man.
That's crazy.
No, I can't really think of too much.
I don't think so. We're hanging out on Friday. That'll be fun.
Oh
yeah.
And then at
super fun.
That and the dinner on Saturday
What
with
do we
everyone.
bring with us?
Yeah, what are we? What should we bring for Friday?
Oh boy.
We go shopping.
We have time.
Yeah. Shoot, I might have to ask you about it later.
Okay.
Or for what you should bring because definitely something sweet, juices. I'm thinking. Whipped cream.
No.
Cream.
Are you okay? That she can bring that. Grace.
Maybe well also I'll make some kind of dip of some sort too.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Your
it'll
dip.
be delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it'll be good. It'll be really fun. We can watch a movie. We can watch The Office.
I love The Office. I'm watching season 7 right now.
Did we go
I'm
to the
watching
dive?
I'm watching season 3.
No.
We're not going to the
Yeah,
dive.
No.
I haven't been there for
Kind
since
of 3
sophomore
total.
year.
Enjoyed one of them.
One of them.
This one. He was holding his pinky finger up. Since none of you.
I was like, it was this one. It's like, no.
Andy just flipped me off, everyone.
On the radio.
Freudian slip. Freudian hand slip.
But yeah, it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
It'll be quite fun.
Yes.
I'm on season 3 of The Office right now.
Are you rewatching it?
I rewatched
Obviously.
it like 5
That's a dumb question.
Yep. Me too.
Yeah. But it was, season 2 is my absolute favorite.
They hit their stride. They figured their stuff out.
Yeah.
And then 3 was really good.
Yeah.
4 got even better. Because just things started to happen. You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
about time. You were just kind of like, ah.
Yeah,
It's a
nothing
relaxing
happened for a
season.
while. Mhm.
Then 5 was a little awkward just because that was when Michael had his fiasco
Oh,
and
yeah.
then he left
And then
and came back. And it was this whole, there was some drama in it. 6 was great. I really liked season 6.
Yeah, season 6 is good.
Season 7 was good. And then the back, like the last few
The
episodes.
eighth season.
They just didn't know what they were doing. They kept on trying new things and it was like slipping and didn't catch on with the audience.
Yeah, exactly. Like Will Ferrell.
It just didn't work. And then 9 was beautiful.
9 was
That
great.
was just,
9 was one of my favorites.
oh my gosh, it was everything. They dropped the whole story, not the whole story, but they dropped the like trying to do certain objectives during the
Right.
show. They're like, we're going to finish the series right, and then it was
They did.
You want to know something? I really want a relationship like Jim and Pam.
who doesn't?
I know
I
who doesn't.
can't even.
I'm like waiting for
Jim.
I'm waiting for it.
But
it
see,
doesn't
that
happen.
it didn't happen in college. Like they talk about Jim's high school girlfriend. You remember that when they were talking like we brought her home and then
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't talk about college. We don't even know if he went to college. And then he found Pam at work. So you got time.
Isn't it scary to think about like relationships after college? Because like right now
Yeah.
you're around all
It's
these
so
new
easy.
people. It's so easy. Like why aren't we just
Yeah.
going on dates with everybody?
Man, I don't know.
I honestly why
Why
are you
wouldn't
going
you?
like out to dinner with somebody every week and just like find somebody like, hey, you're cool, let's hang out again. And
Yeah.
then until you're done, you're like, guess we'll go with somebody else.
Yeah, I feel like
God.
okay. You want to know something? College is the new high school. Let's be real. I mean, everyone's going to college now. Not everyone, but I mean, a great majority of people are going to college.
That's very true.
And I think that because of that reason, it's starting to become like relationships are starting to become like they were in high school too, in a way. Just because
I can see
you
that.
know, I mean, it's kind of I mean, not necessarily all the time, but you can kind of see it in some. I mean, you know, like we were talking about with the swimmers. You know, it's just all the swimmers are together all the time. Rumors go around, rumors go floating around, and there's also, you know, like, oh, did you hear this happen? Did you hear this happen? Or, you know, that's exactly like high school. And I mean, of course, we're more mature and stuff, but
Not much.
yeah, it's kind of
Just a
It's
different
very
type
similar.
of maturity.
yeah, exactly. It's a different maturity.
It's more of a mature
We know how to
maturity.
handle our work. Probably is
A little bit better, yeah. We're unsupervised,
There's alcohol involved, which makes the bad decisions happen.
and they're worse.
Like when you're a kid, you're like, "Oh, bad decision, not gonna do it."
not going to do
Now
it.
we just do.
Exactly.
Every week, and you're like, bad decision, night number 1. Woo! And then you do night number 2, and sometimes you add a third night.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, it's a holiday, so
It's a Monday.
Monday sounds
It's
good.
Monday.
It's Monday.
Olin Rogers. Gotta love
Not
it.
even a giggle.
Balloon. It's a Monday.
You can't even hear us. There it is.
Yay, she got it.
Grace is listening, in case anyone doesn't know. She's our technician, kind of.
Yes!
We have another listener.
We have
Awesome.
my favorite. Okay. My favorite quote from The Office that I've just been. I think I told this one to you, but it's just my favorite. It's where Dwight. I really like Dwight. He kind of just like de-stresses me in a way. So like I'll go because he has so much energy and so much anxiety that he puts on himself. It gets some anxiety off of my chest, if that makes sense. Anyway, it probably doesn't, but it's the best line ever when the lights go, like the power goes out, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, what do we do?" They don't really freak out that much, and he's like, "All right, everyone, let's go to the basement. Down there, I have enough supplies for 14 days. After that, we have a difficult conversation." And he has this flashlight underneath him, so he looks super scary, and he like turns around and he like says this in a very deep voice. So funny. I mean, that's just the one that's been in my head for a
Yes.
while now. And I
Dwight,
just love it.
really, he's a de-stressor. I agree. And he's funny all the time.
Yeah.
Just with his honesty. He's never trying to be, and when he is trying to be funny, he usually laughs, and you're like, okay, I see. But I think my favorite Dwight quote was in, I think it was the first episode of season 9, when he's trying to, they have the slack line, and it wasn't going really well. And then he brings up the bike up on the wire, and he brings up Pam. She's like, why don't you ask Phyllis? And she's like, Phyllis? Pam, are you kidding me? The second she steps off, I'll be launched into space.
My favorite part of that
That's
episode is
the
when,
best one ever.
and then Creed comes
We
in
kinda
like,
must have been saying-
what's Creed say? He's like, there was a circus performance, and then
And oh yeah, when the Creed is commenting, he's like, "Great day to work at a cookie factory or something."
Yeah.
just something really obscure.
He's like,
I'm like,
"No, no, no."
Creed. Just,
He's like, "Yeah,
Now which one's Pam?
which one is Pam?"
And he's like known her forever. Oh my gosh,
Uh-huh.
it's great.
My
Oh,
parents see this. I'm toast.
I'm just.
When they realize the documentary is going to be released.
actually, my favorite
Is his
Creed moment
parents
is
still
when
alive?
they're doing the murder one, and then he's like, "There's been a murder, and you're a suspect." He's like, "I'll be back 1 second." You just see him sprinting away from the building.
I
There's
love
this-
that I could just talk with you guys about that because I just feel like
we go back and forth with quotes forever.
And I can't remember what the context was, but he was like, "Goodbye, Mary Beth," and then
Night Mary Beth.
was that when she was in with the bat?
I really want to get out.
Night, Mary Beth.
There's like this one other part where it's like blood everywhere. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. I'm pretty sure none of that's real. You're not real, man.
You're not really. Yeah, he's like, there was something decapitated, blood everywhere. He had a funeral for a bird.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Jim's like, I'm pretty sure none of that's real. You're not real, man. Which all of that was because their dude, what's his name?
Ed Truck.
Ed Truck was decapitated. There was a bird that did have a funeral for it, but Jim wasn't there because he was in Stanford. So
yeah.
they were both telling the truth. It was just Creed. Or when I never realized it, but when Holly came in and asked him what he did, he's like, "What do you do here?" And he's like, "Whatever." And that came, he's like, what is this woman's problem? Getting up in me, he's like, "I don't even know what I do." He's like, quabity. And he's like trying to figure out. And he's like, he's quality assurance.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
his thing. And I didn't realize that he was actually pretty close. It's quabity. He's like quabity.
I thought it was just like some random word.
I know.
That's interesting. I didn't know. How did you figure out he was quality insurance?
It's
did
when
it
they
say
talk about it during the watermark incident. They say,
Oh,
"Creed, your
yes,
quality
quality
assurance," and it's
assurance.
just a moment. They don't talk about it after
Yeah.
that. But,
Oh, that's funny.
And
That's
when
great.
Meredith gets hit by Michael in the car and then asks Jim to sign it, Jim signs John Krasinski instead of Jim Halpert.
Did you see that? Like on
You can see it because you don't see him sign it, but then he has 2 dots. Jim Halpert has 1 dot. Krasinski has 2.
That's ooh.
That's a prop.
You're very observant.
I watched. See, it's the thing. Like Zach Gardner is watching it now, and he
Yeah.
called me and like had some epiphany because Michael was during the roast
I
episode.
can't believe that Zach Gardner and Joe Pablaki are just starting to watch it now.
I know.
After we have been going on about it for 2 years now, you would think, and I've been going on about it since I was a freshman.
Right.
I've been getting all of my friends to watch it since freshman year of college, and he still hadn't watched it. I'm kind of disappointed I'm disappointed in you, Zach.
I
Disappointed.
hope he's listening later
Me
sometime.
too.
I hope he is too. But you know what?
Okay, so you want to go through speed round?
Sure.
Speed round.
Speed round is
Speed round's pretty fun.
yep.
What kind of soap do you use?
Soft soap. Is that a brand? It's like
It could be
Is
it- are you- is it
bar?
bar or are we
No,
squeezing
it's,
onto
I
a?
squeeze it. It's body wash.
Onto a
Onto a
leg
loofah or a
on
hand?
Hand.
Or you'll
Okay.
right. And then you just rub hand on body. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. And then what about your hair? What are we working with up there?
Suave.
Ooh.
Which flavor?
Actually, it's not necessarily a flavor. It's Suave Professionals, so
What kind
get
of?
at me.
Is this like a?
It's like hydrating Suave
Do we have
Professionals.
a shampoo and then a conditioner?
Yes, shampoo and then conditioner, and then I also have Suave Detangler,
I was gonna say that.
and it smells like apples.
Delicious.
It's amazing.
Does it smell like apples now?
No, because I did not put the detangler in my hair today.
Okay.
So
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry. I would have you smell it, but it would not smell like apples.
That's too bad.
Unfortunately.
Awesome Blossom. Oh, we should have told her to
That's-
think about this one.
Awesome Blossom Extra Awesome.
I just use
that
the flavor of my shampoo.
randomly.
I'm
It's
just
awesome.
joking. I'm just joking. It's not.
Isn't like extra awesome.
Hold the awesome, actually.
Last or
Okay, if you can remember a hard time that you laughed, like everyone has those moments in
Yeah.
your life where you're like you can't
Like, this
stop
is the
laughing, you're
hardest
like
I've ever laughed.
can't breathe. Do you have any stories like that? Because the question is technically what's the hardest time you've laughed, but
or just a hard time you can remember.
Mhm.
Hardest time you can remember.
Ooh. That is a good one. Gosh dang.
These are Pete's questions
Yes,
for
they
his
are.
speed round. He calls it the same
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, I really like that. Golly. I wish I could think of one like off the spot. The only one that I could think of like automatically is when Zach Gardner and Joe Bablocki would come into our co-ed section freshman year and literally tickle us until we almost peed our pants. That's how much tickling was going on. We would be on the floor of we'd be halfway in the bathroom trying to run away from them, and they would attack us, right? Tickle attack. We'd be laughing so hard.
Who's we?
Oh, sorry. Grace Belfons, Andrea Blum. Actually, they're both my roommates now.
yes.
And Lindsay McDaniels. We would get tickled all the time, but it was mostly just like me, Andrea, and Grace that would get. And oh my gosh,
Seems like a Zach activity.
it was definitely an activity that had Zach written all over it, and it was terrible. It was a nightmare, but I laughed really hard. So
That's good.
yeah.
Wow.
Cool. How about
Last.
time you cried, or
do you-
even hardest? I guess if you want to do either.
Last time I cried was at the conference meet this year. I remember it was actually.
Me too.
I usually don't cry that often.
Sure.
It's. I actually have to try to cry sometimes, but then sometimes it just happens. And the last time it just happened was at conference because it just kind of came to me that it was my last time that I was going to be swimming on the Gustavus swim team.
Yeah.
And then, well, actually, when it started was when John got Coach of the Year. I bawled. I started crying really bad, and then I gave him a hug, and I think that he thought I was a weirdo because I was like, "Man, you deserve this so much."
He was crying too.
Yeah,
That was
that was
cool.
the last
Yeah.
time I cried.
Okay.
All right. Do you have search capabilities on your phone? I take it.
Yes, I do.
What were the last couple things you searched? Do you know how to see that?
Actually, in all honesty, I was searching for different things for a test coming up. So it was like, let me see here. First one is, it's a government site apparently about different receptors. In the body. So like
How exciting!
neuroscience, right? Yay! There's like G receptors and interceptors, or no, not
Interceptors.
Oh, those are
channel linked receptors, stuff like enzyme linked,
how exciting.
So yeah, that was one of them. Let's see, what are my other tabs here? I looked up. Oh, what was before that? Oh, I looked up Amanda Toms on Facebook because somebody,
Who's that?
she's a girl in my sorority, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, I think this girl, she had like bangs," and then I was trying to figure out who it was in my, and Gustavus webmail, which is not. I know, gosh, I'm so boring.
Boring.
Neuroscience and emails.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, and then I also looked up I don't know if you say GIFs or GIFs.
I think it's GIFs.
GIFs?
Technically.
GIFs.
I think it's not that big of a
Use your
deal.
choice.
I looked up some GIFs. I like that because it sounds like peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just call it GIFs.
Call them gifts.
Dancing GIFs, you know, for the swing dancing email.
Yeah.
And there's one from the Big Lebowski that was so hilarious. I wish that I was trying to copy the link to make it look like the video on the email, but it didn't work. So it was just a picture of Big Lebowski. Like, oh, it worked on yours? Yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So anyway,
Cool.
that was super fun.
That's exciting.
That's pretty much it.
Do you want to do it or not?
It's up
Yeah,
to you.
let's do it.
Okay.
Oh, so we're doing it.
We've-
This is fake laugh to real laugh.
This is a game that we play. And the point of the game is that there isn't really one. So what you're going to do is you're going to think about a laugh in your head. Think about a fake laugh that isn't your laugh.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is you make that fake laugh sound.
Okay.
And then when it turns to your real laugh, you raise your hand.
This is great.
It's called
Okay, all at the same time.
fake laughter. Yes, we all
do it all
make.
together, and then once it turns into a real laugh, you just raise your hand.
This is great. I love this.
So think of a good one.
Okay. Ooh, I have a good one.
Are you ready?
It's really weird though.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2,
Two.
3.
I told you it was weird. Okay, I'll
do it
just
for
do
a
it.
second so they can hear it.
That's why we laugh. Okay. Okay. 1 second. Gosh dang it, this is really fun. Okay. Gosh, okay. It's a hyena laugh. Hello.
Oh, like a
Of
cackling
course.
hyena. All right. I'm picturing like that's the noise you make when you're like you're kidding like a coal miner like really quick. It's like,
What was your guys' laugh? I need to hear yours.
I don't even remember. I don't know.
Oh, that's a lie.
I think I went like.
I went hee ha hee ha. I don't know. Like a donkey kind of thing. I don't know.
That's great.
Cool.
No, it's fine.
Well, that's pretty much the show.
That's our show.
Thanks for being here.
Now, wait, you have to say something.
We're not done yet.
We aren't?
Both gentlemen and scholars.
Hold on.
People, if you're listening to this via Now or YouTube, we now have a Facebook page and a Twitter account. It's the Twitter account's at Now You Know Me GAC, and then the first letter of each word is capitalized, and the GAC is all caps. You probably should just type in Now You Know Me GAC all.
Probably.
Probably. And then Facebook is www.facebook.com/Now You Know Me GAC, all little letters.
Lowercase for you.
Email is the
Little
same
letters.
thing at Gmail.
Yep.
So that's exciting.
If you'd like to get a hold of us, request a guest, anything like that, feel free.
Oh yeah, guest requests would be really cool.
Mhm.
Exciting.
Get to know
Okay.
more people.
So now you end it by saying, "Now you know me." This isn't the correct addition.
Now you know me.
That was really cool.
I like that.
All right.
That's the show.
That's it.
Sweet.
Cool.